Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to ChasePacks. My name is Chase. Today's video topic, booster boxes. The big question, the obvious question is, where the hell are they at? And that is a question that everybody watching this video, almost everybody, I'm going to assume, and everybody making these types of videos, nobody actually knows. Brought up some booster boxes on TCG Player. A lot of these boxes could really use a reprint. At the end of the video, on the outro, we'll get into who's to blame, what could be the reasons, why aren't we seeing more booster boxes? It's been a while. We'll get into that at the end. Stick around. But for now, let's jump on TCG Player. Phantasmal Flames, a booster box that is one set old and is pushing $400 with the quickness. It's up 16% on the 3-month chart, even though this 3-month chart doesn't really look right. Market price $377. Last solds though $384, $400 essentially, 5 cents off, $375, $390. That's Korean. We're not worried about that. Let's look at some listings though. If you want to get down to some of these gold star sellers, the lowest listing is $384.99. Then it goes $389, $389, $380, $390. If you go to the second page, everybody is essentially $400. This guy's $390 with $10 shipping. So, and these are selling fast. 411 have sold in the last month. An average daily sold is 15 for Phantasmal Flames. I got to be honest, I was not predicting this box to be this expensive this quickly. This is honestly, a lot of this is purely opinion, right? This set for me does absolutely nothing, but that Charizard SIR is one of the best looking Charizard cards of all time. If there was no nostalgia for me in this hobby, it would be my favorite Charizard card. But because nostalgia exists, then obviously it's got to be the base set. But yeah, it's pretty obvious why this box is expensive. It's because of the Charizard SIR. It's an amazing, amazing artwork. It's got Charmander, Charmeleon, the regular Charizard, and then the Charizard Mega X. So, yeah, essentially this box is $400. I mean, look at this chart. Beginning of March, it was $318. It just goes straight up. It goes straight up. None technically have sold. It doesn't look like for $400. Just today alone, 6 of them have sold for the average price of $377. But again, if you look at the last solds, $384, $400, $375, and $398. It's a $400 box. Not much else to say about it besides this box is a prime suspect to get a reprint, obviously, considering how new it is. Another one that really needs it, I mean, arguably more if you're trying to keep prices reasonable, is Destined Rivals. Market price $579. Last solds, of course, we got 3 Korean boxes. Good Lord. $589, $600. So this box, beginning of the year was $391. It shot way up, obviously. You guys remember this. Up to $580 essentially. Dropped back down to around $511, $510. And now we're back up the last, 3 or 4 days. 7 have sold for an average price of $577. So if we look at the 1-month chart, 136 have sold in the last month. An average daily sale of 5 a day, which is not surprising considering the market price is $579. And essentially, they're going to be going for $600 here before you know it. Yeah, if you get down to the gold store, these are loose packs, so we'll ignore those. Not even gold star sellers, $600. This is $585 with $15 shipping, $600 with $5 shipping. Yeah, it's a $600 box. Destined Rivals needs a reprint desperately, like most of these boxes. Twilight Masquerade. Not terribly surprising this box is selling for what it's selling for, considering the Mega Greninja is in it. Last solds, $339, $324, $338, $338, and $338 for the Twilight Masquerade. Twilight Masquerade is in the second print block window for Twilight, or for Scarlet and Violet. But man, considering what needs printed and what's coming up with the 30th anniversary, boy, I would not be surprised if we didn't see any more Twilight Masquerade. The same with Temper Forces. This box $286 market price. Last sold's $290. 6 of them sold for $300, $300, or $299 and $300 there. Temporal Forces. I like Temporal Forces. It gets shit on a lot, but yeah, that Raging Bolt's nice. Surging Sparks. I mean, honestly, when I think of booster boxes and I think of especially the Scarlet and Violet era, it might be the only reasonable pickup where I'm like, yeah, 253 Surging Sparks as it compares to the rest of the era and the rest of the booster boxes might be the only thing that's like somewhat appealing to me. Market price, or I'm sorry, last sold is 236, 260. 2 of them sold at 240, 240 and 334 for that one down there. All right, we got to cover it because it is the brand new set. Perfect Order, market price 205, last sold 207, 208. 2 of them sold at 203. We have a 209 and a 203 for Perfect Order there. It sold. It had a dip. Like I said in the last video, but it did release on release day. Everybody and their mom could dump their boxes on TCG Player. It went down to like the high 180s, I want to say. Like it's like the lowest one I saw that sold in that price range, and then it went right back up over $200 average sale price within hours. Okay, let's wrap up this video with a little conversation. I'm going to ask some questions. We'll do a little bit of speculating. We obviously don't have enough booster boxes for the demand. The supply, too low, demand too high. That's obvious, right? But there's a lot of new people coming into the hobby. And a lot of those new people are investors. And a lot of those people who are wanting to invest in Pokemon because they know how much money can be made in Pokemon. Yeah, they're consuming investing content, right? And what do investing channels talk about? A lot of the times, ETBs, booster boxes. Those are the two SKUs, let's say, that appreciate the most. At least in my opinion. We're not talking about singles, we're talking about sealed. So all those singles are very volatile, but that's for a different video. So we got some new people coming in. On top of them consuming content, investing content, they are also, well, they have a little bit lack of, let's call it price memory. They weren't here in a time where you could pick up booster boxes from anywhere from, I don't know, what do you want to call it, 120 to 90, 85, whatever. So when they see Perfect Order for 205, 208, 220, whatever it might be, that's a cheap booster box to them. Also, if they're listening to content, if they've been listening to YouTube at all for the past, I don't know, 6 months, 4 months, they've been hearing a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people in the hobby talking about how we're not getting as many booster boxes as we used to. So that alone is enough to drive people to buy any booster box at kind of any price because, again, they're new to the hobby. Since they've been in the hobby, we haven't got any significant reprints of any booster boxes. You could argue Surging Sparks, and that's probably valid. Surging Sparks got a reasonable reprint for booster boxes. That's why the price is as low as it is, considering it's a good box. But so they come in, they don't have any price memory. They consume all this content saying, where are all the booster boxes, which is valid because that is the question, where are all the booster boxes? And so, yeah, they're buying all the booster boxes they can get for whatever price they can afford. Even if it's a mid-set like Perfect Order selling for $220. They're just going to buy it because it's available and they want a booster box or they want booster boxes. And that's why you see a lot of these, not even new people, because here's the thing, again, I said it in a previous video, but the market is what the market is what it is. These booster boxes are selling for no less than $200. The worst set that we've seen released in a long time is selling for $210 to $220. So the market is what it is. And a lot of these people who have been around for a while, they see that. And what they're also speculating is it's not going to slow down anytime soon. And what they're also speculating on top of that is that Pokemon's not going to be able to keep printing Scarlet and Violet the second block and keep up with the demand for Phantasmal Flames, Ascended Heroes, etc. on into the future of that new era. So they're kind of banking on that. They're also banking on the market not slowing down probably this year at all. And they're making plays. They're buying boxes of Surging Sparks at $250. They're buying Twilight Masquerade at $340, and they're feeling pretty safe about it. So you got the newcomers, and you have the, what you can call them bullish, I guess, bullish old heads in the hobby. And then you have the old heads who go, okay, there's no way in hell I'm paying $600 for a Destined Rivals booster box. It's not even a year old. And they also see a set like Perfect Order, and they go, I cannot believe that's $205. No way I'm paying that. And a lot of those people are just not, they're just holding cash in their hand. They're not doing anything. Which also isn't great, because if the market keeps going the way it's going, then they're going to miss out on, well, potential profits. They're going to miss out on collecting boxes they want to collect, etc. So it's a funny dynamic going on. I mean, obviously, if you want to blame somebody, the only person to blame is Pokemon at this point. They're the one who prints the boxes, right? But you could also argue that Pokemon makes more money off of ancillary products per pack value. And as far as I know, they hand stuff these boxes. So if they're trying to put out products to get into the hands of consumers, I mean, maybe booster boxes take a long time to make, because there's not as much automation with packing that specific SKU. There's a lot of ways you can go with it, guys. I mean, at the end of the day, supply's too high, or supply's too low, demand's too high. Pokemon's not printing enough booster boxes. Who knows though? I mean, in my opinion, I don't think there's not going to be any reprints of any of these sets we looked at recently. Booster boxes are going to come eventually, but when is the question? And is it going to be in time to save some of these late Scarlet and Violet era booster boxes? Let me know in the comments, guys. What do you think? Booster boxes, are we getting any more? What sets do you think will actually get reprinted? I'm going to say they need to hit Phantasmal Flames and need to hit Destined Rivals for sure. I'd love to see those two reprinted, but that's just my opinion. Guys, if you're enjoying the videos, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.